Welcome students. In the previous class we have discussed about the electrochemical cells. Today we are going to discuss about electrolytic cells. So electrolytic cells are the devices that convert electrical energy to chemical energy. So electrochemical cells are the devices that is used to convert electrical energy to chemical energy. So by the passage of electricity there is a chemical reaction is occurring. Such type of reactions are generally known as electrolysis, and the devices are using, they are known as electrolytic cells. So here we are going to discuss about the electrolysis of cupric chloride solution. Electrolysis of CuCl2, its name is cupric chloride, CuCl2 solution. And what are the things we want to take care of? So in this case you just take a beaker, that I only need one beaker. That beaker contain the CuCl2 solution, a beaker that contains CuCl2 solution, and you just dip two carbon or graphite electrodes. Instead of graphite you can use platinum also for this purpose, and the two electrodes are connected with a conducting wire and also connected to a battery. Okay, like this. This is the arrangement. A beaker, that beaker contains cupric chloride solution and two graphite electrodes, or instead of graphite we can use platinum, and the two electrodes are connected with a battery using a connecting wire. In this case the positive terminal of the battery is connected, that is the positive electrode, and the negative terminal of the battery connected, that electrode is the negative electrode. So here the finding the positive and negative electrode, it is easier because the positive terminal of a battery is connected to an electrode, that is the positive electrode, and the negative terminal of the battery is connected to electrode, that is the negative electrode. So we know that the solution, the aqueous solution of a metallic salt or the molten form of a metallic salt, that will conduct electricity. So the substance that conduct electricity in their molten form or in the solution state, generally they are known as electrolytes. So they are known as electrolytes. By the passing of electricity through electrolytes, there are chemical reactions that take place. So they are known as, and the chemical reactions are known as electrolysis. So the molten substances or the solutions are known as electrolytes. By the passing of electricity through the electrolytes, that process, the reaction is known as electrolysis, and we are electrolyze that solution by using the electrodes. So they are carbon or graphite electrodes. The positive terminal and negative terminal are connected. Then the solution contain number of Cu2 plus ions and Cl minus ion. So the solution that contain number of Cu2 plus ions and Cl minus ions. Cu2 plus ions and Cl minus ion. At the time of passing electricity through that, the opposite charges are attracted. At the time of passing electricity through the solution, that time the opposite charges are attracted. So the Cu2 plus ions are moved towards the negative electrode, and the Cl minus ions are moved towards the positive electrode. So the positive electrode attracts the Cl minus ions, and the negative electrode attracts the Cu2 plus ions. So Cu2 plus ions move towards the negative electrode, Cl minus ion move towards the positive electrode. So the negatively charged ion will donate the electrons. So to balance the equation we can write it as 2 Cl minus ions donated 2 electrons and become as what? 2 chlorine atom. The 2 chlorine atom is represented as Cl2. 2 Cl minus ions gives Cl2 plus 2 electron, because that have electron is excess. The excess electrons are donated. One atom have 1 electron is excess. So here we have take 2 ions. The 2 electrons are excess. The 2 electrons are donated and forms 2 chlorine atoms. The 2 chlorine atom is implies what? Right, like Cl2, one molecule. So chlorine molecule is formed. So here it is chlorine gas. It is chlorine gas. So chlorine gas will be expelled through the positive electrode. And Cu2 plus ions, positively charged ions, accept the 2 electrons and become as Cu atom. Cu atom. Copper is a metal, so the metal forms a layer on this electrode. The copper is a metal, that metal forms a layer on the negative electrode. So again, once more we are explaining that contain number of the solution contain number of Cu2 plus ions and Cl minus ion. While electricity passed through the solution by using the electrodes, that time the positively charged Cu2 plus ions move towards the negative electrode due to the opposite charge attraction, and Cl minus ion move towards the positive electrode. Again, attraction between opposite charges, then Cl minus go towards the positive electrode. Then the Cl minus ion donate the electrons and become as chlorine molecule or chlorine gas, and Cu2 plus ion from the negative electrode accept the electron and become as what? Cu atom. Cu is a metal, so it forms a layer on the negative electrode. Chlorine is a gas, it is not deposited, it will be expelled from the positive electrode because it is a gas, but the copper is a metal, so that's form a layer or deposited on the negative electrode. So this is the equation representing the oxidation and the reduction. So here the electron donating oxidation, so oxidation occurring electrode is anode, and reduction is here accepting electron, reduction occurring electrode is cathode. Students, please, important area we are discussing here, there is a change related with what? Related with the galvanic cell, because the change is that here positive electrode is the anode and negative electrode is the cathode. So that is implies you want to care that in a cell, especially electrolytic cell, if a battery is connected there, in that case that is easy. In a battery connected cell, the positive terminal is connected the positive electrode is the anode, and the negative terminal is connected is the negative electrode, and that is the cathode. This is entirely different in the case of what? In the case of galvanic cell. In the galvanic cell we have studied negative electrode is anode and positive electrode is cathode, but there is no change. What is that? Oxidation occurring electrode is anode, reduction occurring electrode is cathode. That is same, but the charge is different. So a cell that have battery is there, battery is connected, the positive terminal is the anode and negative terminal is the cathode. Positive electrode is the anode and negative electrode is the cathode. So this is the electrolysis of cupric chloride. So what are the product obtained at anode? What is the product obtained at the anode? Product obtained at the anode is chlorine gas. Product obtained at the anode is chlorine gas, and product obtained at the cathode. Product obtained at the cathode is copper. Product obtained at the cathode is copper. One more thing, which is the anode and cathode. The anode is graphite and the cathode is also graphite. The product obtained in anode is chlorine and cathode is copper. Which is cathode? It is not copper. The product obtained in cathode is copper. The cathode is graphite or platinum. The anode is also graphite or platinum. The products are chlorine and copper. That is important. Then one more example we are going to explain here. It is related with what? It is the electrolysis of molten sodium chloride, common salt. Electrolysis of molten sodium chloride. So how you can do that? The beaker contain what? The beaker contain molten sodium chloride, and we are dipped two electrodes, graphite or platinum electrode, that are connected with a battery. Then positive terminal is connected, so here it is the positive electrode. Negative terminal is connected here, so negative electrode. And the molten sodium chloride, so it contains number of Na plus ions and Cl minus ion. Number of Na plus ions and Cl minus ions are there in the molten sodium chloride. While passing electricity through that, due to the attraction between opposite charges, Na plus ions move towards the negative electrode and Cl minus ions are moved towards the positive electrode. So opposite charge attraction. If the Cl minus ions are reached at the positive electrode, what happens? If the Cl minus ions reach at the positive electrode, what happens? The Cl minus ions donate the electron and become as what? Cl2. It is chlorine. So again, here chlorine gas is produced. chlorine gas is produced. Chlorine gas is expelled from the positive electrode. And in the case of negative terminal or negative electrode, the Na plus ions are reached. These Na plus ions are accept electron and become as what? Na, sodium atom. Sodium is a metal. So the metal forms a deposit or a coating on the negative terminal because it's a metal. So that's why it forms a layer or coating on the negative terminal. So here sodium is formed as the product. So sodium is the product. Which is the anode? Which is the anode? Anode is the positive electrode. And which is the cathode? Cathode is the negative electrode. Then important thing, which is the product obtained at the anode? The product obtained is chlorine. And which is the product obtained at the cathode? Product is sodium. That is important, very important. Please listen. Which is the anode and cathode? Where they will ask question, which is the anode and cathode? It is graphite electrode. Then which is the product obtained at the anode? It is chlorine gas. And which is the product obtained at the cathode? It is sodium metal. Okay, this is the area related with the electrolysis or electrolytic cell. Up to here you just write into your notebook and draw the pictures and write the corresponding equations and changes. The next class we are take the electrolysis of sodium chloride solution and the uses of electrolytic cells and electroplating. That will be discussed in the last section of the chapter. Thank you.